Okay, Smasadifu, please over to you. Maharaj will be joining us soon. You can take it over from there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaj, all glories to you, all glories to Gurudev, all glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to Samud Vaishnava devotees. Hare Krishna, and thank you for being here, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Maharaj. So, dear devotees, we thank you for being here. We are very fortunate and blessed today. We have His Holiness Bhakti Carudesna Swami Maharaj, who will be speaking to us from the Srimad Bhagavatam. I do not think Maharaj needs any further introduction.
No.
We all know him. He is our dearest Maharaj in West Africa. He's been featured on this platform several times, and some of us know him personally. So, Maharaj, we can't thank you enough for being here with us today. And we may put the verse on the screen and then you take it over from here. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Do you hear me clearly?
Yes, Maharaj, yes.
All right, good.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. So are you going to put the verse on the screen now?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. What verse are you talking about? It is 17 or 16?
Oh, sorry, it's 17. This was yesterday. Yes.
Yeah.
This is for today.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayam Namakrisya Narakchivam Narottamam Devim Sarvasim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavatasya Vaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Nastiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahapuran, Canto 2, Chapter 3, Text 17. Yeah, so let's read the Sanskrit. Ayu, duration of life. No. Ayu, arati, vai, pumsa, ujam, astam, cha, yan, moving, aso, the sun, satya, of one who glorifies the Lord. Ite, except, yat, by whom, shanaha, time, nisaha, utilized, tamasloka, the whole good personality of Godhead, Varthaya, in the topic of. Okay, let's go on the Sanskrit now. No. The Sanskrit. The text is that in Sanskrit. Yeah. Ayu haratibai pum sam ujam astam chayan aso tasyarthe yat sanoridnita tamasluka varthaya. Okay. Ayu, duration of life. Arati, increases. By, certainly. From some of the people. Ujam, rising. Astam, setting. Cha, also. Yan, moving. Asao, the sun. Tasya, of one who glorifies the Lord. Rite, except. Yat, by whom. Shanaha, time. Nittaha, lies. Tamasloka, all the the whole good personality of Godhead. Bhaktaya in the topic of translation and support by His One Grace, Abhay Charvindam Shila Gopam or Hare Teacher. Both by rising and by setting, the sun decreases the duration of life for everyone except the one who utilizes the time by discussing the topics of the whole good personality of God. Purpose. These verse indirectly confirm the greater importance of utilizing the human form of life to realize our lost relationship with the Lord, with the Supreme Lord, by acceleration of devotional service. Time and tide wait for no man. So the time indicated by the sunrise, time indicated by the sunrise and the sunset will be uselessly wasted if such time is not properly utilized for realizing the identification of spiritual values. Even a fraction of the duration of life wasted cannot be compensated by any amount of gold. Human life is simply awarded to a living entity, Jiva, so that he can realize his spiritual identity and his permanent source of happiness. A living being, especially the human being, is seeking happiness in the material atmosphere. A living being is constitutionally a spiritual spark of the complete world, and his happiness can be perfectly perceived in spiritual activities. The Lord of the complete is the complete spiritual world, and his name, form, quality, pastime, entourage, and personality are all identical with him. Once a person comes into contact with anyone of the above mentioned energy of the Lord through the proper channel of devotional service, the door to perfection is immediately opened. In the Bhagavad Gita 2:40, the Lord explains such contact in the following words: endeavors in devotional service are never baffled, nor is there failure. A slight beginning of such activity is sufficient even to deliver a person from the greater ocean of material fears. As a highly potent drug injected intravenously acts at once on the whole body, the transcendental topics of the Lord injected through the ear by the pure devotee of the Lord can act very efficiently. Oral realization of the transcendental messages implies total realization, just as fructification of one part of a tree implies fructification of all other parts. This realization, for a moment, in the association of pure devotees like Sukadev Goswami, prepares one's complete life for eternity. And thus, the sun fell to rob the pure devotee of his duration of life, inasmuch as he is constantly busy in the devotional service of the Lord, purifying his existence. That is a symptom of material infection of the eternal living being. Only due to material infection is the eternal entity, living entity, subjected to the law of birth, death, old age, and disease. The materialistic way of pious activities like charity is recommended in the Smriti Sastras, as quoted by Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur. Giving money in charity Giving money in charity is to a suitable person is guaranteed. It's the guaranteed bank balance in the next life. Such charity is recommended to be given to a Brahmana. If the money is given in charity to a non-Brahmana without Brahmanical qualification, the money is returned in the next life in the same proportion. If it is given in charity to a half-educated Brahmana, even then the money is returned double. If the money is given in charity to a learned and fully qualified Brahmana, the money is returned 100 and 1,000 times. And if the money is given to a Veda Paraga, one who has factually realized the path of the Veda, it is returned by unlimited multiplication. The ultimate end of Vedic, go up please. Yeah. The ultimate end of the Vedic knowledge is realization of the personality of Goddess, Lord Krishna, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Vedasya sarvaham eva vedya. There is no guarantee of money being returned if given in charity, regardless of the proportion. Similarly, a moment passed in the association of a pure devotee by hearing and chanting the transcendental message of the Lord is a perfect guarantee for eternal life, for returning home back to Godhead. Madhyama gatva om rajhama nabijyate. In other words, a devotee of the Lord is guaranteed eternal life. The devotee's old age or disease in the present life is but an impetus to such guaranteed eternal life. Om Janam Tivridasya Jana Jana Salakaya Yakshuminitam Yanatashmai Shikura Vinha Shri Shitanamaro Vistam Sakitayina Putare Yam Rupa Kadam Hayam Vadiswam Padanikam Vandyam Sri Guru Shiuta Parakmalam Sri Guru Vashvacha Sirupam Sagrajitam Paragunatam Tam Sajivam Savarutam Paritam Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Hare Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vitakam Samancha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopista Gopika Kantara Kanta Namaste Tapchakana Gourangi Radhe Vristavana Suvare Vristavana Sute Devi Pranamame Hare Priye Panchakalpatarun Jascha Kripa Sunam Yahivacha Ochitanam Pavanidyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Namahom Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Tirtha Swami Namine Namaste Krishna Padhaya Prabhupada Tatmane Shri Gaura Karuna Sakti Bhakti Namine Namahom Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Sarvasi Devi Gaura Vani Pracharine Nirvesesa Sunyavadi Pattasare Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivadari Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bangam Nagate Giri Yat Shripatadam Vande Shigurum Dinatharanam. So, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, Text 17. Yeah. Ayu harati by Pumsa, Jam Astam Chayan Aso. Tasyate. Let's go to the verse. Tasyat Yat Sano Nisa. Uttama Sloka Vardhaya. Yes, let's read the translation again. Both by rising and by setting, the sun decreases the duration of life for everyone, except one who utilizes the time by discussing topics of the whole good personality of Goddess. Hare Krishna, dear Prabhujis and Matajis and Maharajis, all Vaishnavis, I'm very honored to be again here on this platform, to this verse. It's actually by chance that this verse is given to me today. I've been looking for this verse during my teachings, but today I'm very happy to see that verse. I knew there's one verse like this in Bhagavatam. Okay, so the verse is very clear that both by rising and setting, the sun decreases, the duration of life of everyone, except the devotees who utilize their time, for devotional service. Yes, we are the 5 subject matter of Bhagavad Gita. One of them is Kala. Kala is very, very important. Kala. When we go to school, or anything we do, we must take into consideration the time, because time does not belong to us. The same thing we do, it cannot go back, as the verse mentioned. It's waste time. You cannot buy the time with any amount of gold. So time is not to be wasted. Must be utilized 100% for devotional service. That way, we can keep the duration of our life. That reminds me what Krishna told the Pandavas in the beginning of battlefield of Kurukshetra. He told them before the war, he told them, everyone who is going to take part on this war is already dead in advance, except you, the Pandavas. Everyone else will die, except you, the Pandavas. Yes. So if you are in a presidential entourage, you cannot be touched by the law of the society, because you are, presidential area. I mean zone. You can see the cortege or the presidential entourage. They can violate certain things. It's like traffic light. No. And also remember the same Mahabharata, when Arjuna promised to kill Jayadratha, then Krishna asked him, what about in case you are not able to kill him? Arjuna was fully confident in his power that he will kill Jayadratha. He said, yes, if I don't kill him, I will leave the body myself. Then Krishna smiled. So eventually, during the battle, Arjuna was having hard time to kill Jayadratha. No, until he said, I will kill him before sunset. But the sun was preparing to step. Remaining few minutes. The Pandavas, they were when the Kuntis started crying. In the other camp, they were jubilating. Yes, Arjuna is going to perish today. Because they know very well that in Vedic time, when someone says something, a Kshatriya, when a Kshatriya says something, they will respect it. So they were very confident that yes, Arjuna will not be able to kill Jayadratha because the time sun is about to set. Means Arjuna will die today. And if Arjuna is no more in the war, then victory is guaranteed now on our side. But something miraculous happened. We all know that. Krishna asked to intervene to speak to Surya. Oh, my dear friend, where are you going? He said, I was going to set. Then Lord Krishna sent back Surya. So the sun could not set at its appropriate time. Nobody can do that. Nobody else can do that except the controller. Krishna is the one who created everything, can give direction to all the material elements. So he stopped the sun from setting. And the sun came back and the sky was very clear. And that time gave signal to Arjuna. Yes, it is time for you to kill Jayadratha. See, so this verse this incident is confirmed. But what this verse is saying today, that we must utilize the time of Krishna in devotional service. In that way, we will not feel time passing. We have observed that if you are not busy, then you feel that time is very, 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 very slow, very slow. But if you are very active, doing something wonderful, then you can not see that the time is very, very, very flying. So, there are certain things, as I mentioned earlier, that can come back. If you throw a stone, yes, the stone cannot come back. In Africa, we have one proverb: water poured down can take it back. Finish. No? So there are certain things we should not do, because as we tend to pass from childhood to youth to adults to old age, we can't come back to childhood and say, okay, there's certain thing I could not do well, let me rectify. Not possible. So we have to, and Lord Brahmaji gave us, we have 100 years to live, and these the 100 years are divided into 4. There is time for going to Gurukula to study under the guidance of an acharya, the Brahmacharya. There is time to enter the Grihastha ashram, to create a family. There is time to prepare ourselves, to detach, this is the Vanaprastha, and there is last time to really prepare our consciousness to meet Krishna. At the last time, at the last, our last breath. Next, our devotion explain, give details about the 9 activities that can be performed. For one, we want to attend ecstatic love, Bhava Bhaktii. So one should always, utilize, the time in devotional service for the Lord, 24 hours. You see, when you see the structure of ISKCON, the way Srila Prabhupada arranged everything, from Mangalati till we take rest in the evening, everything is arranged in such a way that devotees don't waste time. We check very well. After Mangalati, there is Japa time. Japa time, after Japa time, there is Seva in between, before Guru Puja, before daily greeting. After that, there is class. After that, there is Prasad. After Prasad, either some seminar or devotees goes out for book distribution or Arinam or Food for Life program, like that. When they come back, there is Gaur Harati, Bhagavad Gita class, then maybe some seminar also, then they go to bed. You see? So it's true that Maya or the devotee's time cannot be consumed uselessly. So devotee, the duration of devotees is always kept intact. Why? Because they are serving the master of time. The master of time is Krishna. Kala Rupa. The wheel of time is controlled by Krishna. So if you are in the side of Krishna, Lord Krishna, then you can't be touched by the relation. So in this world, we have sometimes scientists, some who make, those who make some research, they try to study the sun, to study the time. But while doing so, the time is laughing at them. You are trying to study me. I'm the one to study you. You are studying me, time. But by doing so, they're wasting their time. They're wasting their time. And before they know, we start having gray hair and having some, difficulties. Then at that time, Jara come in and Jari comes in, and then last stage is of Mritu. When we take birth, we don't think of the last three, Jara, Jari, and Mritu. We start enjoying as if you are going to live eternally. Yeah. So in the purport, many things were mentioned there. That Krishna control everything. And I remember one instance with Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Maharaj. The one day he told me, do you think Maya does not attack senior devotees like sannyasis, gurus, GBCs, senior Vaishnavis? Do you think Maya does not attack them? Of course, Maya does. But when Maya is coming, they are fully engaged in devotional service. So Maya has to wait patiently, waiting for devotees to be free to engage them. But there's no chance. Just like Haridas Thakur, Maya Devi came to engage him in some material activities, but he'd always tell him, please, I know, you are very beautiful, you are very interesting, no problem, but I have an assignment to chant 300 japa round a day. Today I'm almost done. Please wait, or you come back tomorrow. But who are you to tell Maya to come back tomorrow? No way. She comes when she comes. It means you call her. That's why she's coming. So nobody can tell Maya, come back tomorrow, come back next tomorrow. Not possible. But no, the advanced devotees, because they utilize their time 24 hours a day, they cannot feel the presence of Maya. Otherwise, Maya Devi, she's always there to grab those who are not conscious of these things. So, by oral perception, according to the sloka of today, by oral perception, one verse of the Chatu Sloki says that the pure devotees, they always join together and they discuss about Krishna Katha. By doing so, they release transcendental pleasure and joy and great joy. Generally, when someone is unhappy, then that person has a tendency to find some, some other issue like smoking, drinking, or distraction. But when someone is happy, satisfied, self-satisfied, atmaram, then they don't need, to find other pleasure elsewhere, because he feels joy within himself. So, if you are not engaged in some very strong devotional service, the tendency is to try to satisfy the void that we have created. So when our life is empty, we must fill it with some substance, some spiritual substance. That way, we cannot be affected by tongue. So it said by oral reception, by hearing Krishna Katha. It's like the example was given in the verse that someone who is unconscious, and when we inject him through the oral perception, shruti, then we awake. Srila Prabhupada gave the example in the Metta devotion of the chanting of the Maha Mantra, that we are all contaminated by material disease. We have been bitten by the snake of time, by the snake of material life. So we are in coma. We are unconscious. But, and give you the example that if you are lucky to meet those a snake charmer, they know how to administrate some plants in the nose. Then the snake bite can vanish and gain back the consciousness. Similarly, when we have been bitten by the snake of time, of material life, so we are unconscious. Papa also mentioned that our material fever is very, very, very high, above normal. Our body is very hot. Too much desire, material desire. So material fever is very, 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 very high. We have to, when we have fever, the first thing we go to the hospital is for the duty of the doctor to bring the fever down. How do we bring our fever down? Is by oral reception. To hear Krishna Katha, to chant the Maha Mantra, to associate with pure devotees. In the midst of pure devotees, you can observe that they don't waste time at all. Either they are reading, either they are chanting, either they are giving class, either they are taking, they are listening to classes, either they are listening to proper lecture. They are always busy. No, devotional service is not a material activity. That's why we say Goloka Pramadhana Harinam Sankitam. This sound vibration Maha Mantra is coming directly from devotional service. The Maha Mantra is coming from Goloka Vrindavan. Krishna is residing in Goloka Vrindavan. Devotional service is about Krishna, who is living in Goloka Vrindavan. So someone who is, tell me frankly, someone who is worshipping daily, every day, Krishna is Goloka Vrindavan. The Maha Mantra is from Goloka Vrindavan. Devotional service is not a material activity. So how do you think that time can affect such person? Because in Goloka there is no time there. There is no day, there is no night. There is no Monday, Friday, there is no holiday. There is no such things in Goloka Vrindavan. So by engaging ourselves in devotional service means we are in a different platform altogether. We have two platforms, material platform and spiritual platform. We may not realize it, but as soon as we start practicing devotional service, we transport ourselves to transcendental platform, to spiritual platform. And that way, time that does not exist in Goloka, how can time affect someone who is not in this material world? Not possible. But as soon as we stop practicing devotional service, then we establish ourselves in the material platform. And then of course, the rising of the sun and the setting will reduce our time. And people, they grow old, they are surprised by old age actually. I don't know why some people are surprised by old age. And they are surprised. Certain things they could not do, they want to find time to do, but it's too late. It is too late. So let's understand that if you are engaged in devotional service, we cannot be touched by time. So let's continue with some points of how to utilize the time in devotional service. The number one I mentioned is to utilize our time 24 hours a day, and always be reserved and tolerant. Always being detached from material attraction, because material attraction will distract us. Oh, let me enjoy this one. But if you're not attracted by material distraction, then we can focus on our devotion service. And this time, the sun is rising and the setting of the sun can never touch us, because we are not distracted by things happening in this material world. Bhagavad Gita mentioned that what is day for the sage is the night for the fool. What is the night for the fool is day for the sage. So sage and fool, they never meet. When the sage is sleeping, the fool is jubilating. When the sage is doing kirtan, enjoying with Krishna, then the fool is sleeping. Mangalati time is for Mangalarati, means the auspicious arati. That time, non-devotees are sleeping. and Kara is consuming them. One sentence I like very much: a hot bed in morning time, in Mangalati time, a hot bed is a cold grave. So we are very happy at that time of prayer, even if you are sleeping in a coffin, ready to be buried. And the other one is to long for don't long for any material respect in return for our activities. So we should be doing our devotional service selflessly, not accepting that we can be rewarded. This is a pure Bhakti Yoga, not mixed with material desire, Ananya Bhakti. And the other one is Sabandha. Sabandha means to always be certain that Krishna will bestow his mercy. If not today, if not tomorrow, but certainly Krishna will bestow his mercy. So we get focused on that. So coming back to the house, the Baba instructor ISKCON, he put everything into place for devotee to live this material world and go back to God at this life. I listened to one video last month. A question was asked to Srila Prabhupada: how much time do we have to take to get perfection and go back to Goloka Vrindavan? Srila Prabhupada said, 1 minute. 1 minute. Yes, for us it can be exaggeration because we are not ready. We need more time to break our material distraction and attachment. So for us, when Srila Prabhupada says 1 minute, we don't believe that. How can it be possible? But it is possible for those who are fully engaged. What is the Sanskrit word mentioned in the Vedapara? Yes. Vedapara. So why people are not too much focused on devotion service? Because we are busy doing other things in this world, like welfare activities, giving charity. So Prabhupada make a connection between our giving charity and our devotion service. So he said, someone who we can see it on the screen, I don't know, someone who gives charity to a non-qualified brahmana. For instance, you give $10,000. In your next life, you just get $10,000. That's all. But if you give that $10,000 to a half qualified brahmana, you get it double. Get it double. But if you give that same amount, $10,000, to a qualified brahman, 2, 3, 17 deaths. Yes. Yes. Okay, very good. Thank you. Aha. Such charity is recommended to be given to a Brahmana. If the money is given in charity to a non-Brahmana without Brahminical qualification, the money is returned in the next life the same proportion. If it's given in charity to a half-educated Brahmana, even then the money is returned double. If the money is given in charity to a learned and fully qualified Brahmana, the money is returned 100 times and 1,000 times. Yeah. And if the money is given to a Veda Paraga, one who has actually realized the path of the Veda, it is returned by unlimited multiplication. Same way, the ultimate end of Vedic knowledge is realization of the personality of Goddess, Lord Sri Krishna, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. So, from what we just read, no, if you give charity to, depending on the person we give, Bhagavad Gita explains the dana, the charity in mode of good and ignorance, passion, and goodness. So there is charity in the mode of transcendence. Yeah. Same way also, if you utilize our time fully, in association of advanced, devotees, Vedaparas, then there is guarantee that we are going to go to finish our business in this material world now, this lifetime. So proportionally to our investment in devotional service, we can also get the results. Just like our charity depends on whom we give charity. If you give a charity, that's even if you give that charity to someone we're going to use, maybe it's not mentioned here, but I can speculate that if they give that charity to someone who is not a non-Brahmana, is a sinner, I think instead of getting back that money, we're going to rather lose. Okay, so there is something called Sukriti, spiritual bank balance. We have to invest a lot of spiritual activities so that in that way, if you don't go back to Goloka next life, at least we will have a big spiritual bank balance that can help us to continue from where we stop from this lifetime. We have observed that some devotees, they come and they automatically attracted to the devotional service, chanting the holy name, devotional service. They stay, they never leave. Where some they come, they go, some they come, they go, like that. Why? It depends on the spiritual bank balance in the previous life. It is not enough. So we have to accumulate the maximum spiritual bank balance now, so that in our next life, if you don't go back now, at least we will have sufficient spiritual bank balance that can help us, to go back to Goloka Vrindavan. That's the question Arjuna asked Krishna, that what happened to someone who practices yoga and does not come to conclusion? Does he perish like a cloud in the sky? Krishna told him, no. Any slight, any small activity, service on the path of devotional service can never be lost. That person can take birth in Indraloka, in the heaven planet, and enjoy there. When visa is expired, has to come down to this material world. He take birth in a very rich family, aristocratic family. But it is very dangerous because there you cannot have the chance to have association of acharyas and advanced devotees. Another possibility is to take birth in a transcendental family. Take birth, your father, your mother, they are already advanced devotees. It's very easy for you to go back to look up in the world. But to have that opportunity, you have to practice seriously devotional service in our previous life. So Narada Muni was blessing four type of person. He said, the son of King Raja Rishi, I pray you live long. To the son of the sage, the Rishi, or Rishi Putra, I pray you die now. And let me use these two examples. There are two more, but these two examples. Why he gave long life to the son of the king? Because right now the king is enjoying so many mass facilities. Sometimes breaking principles like that, not following all the rules. So the son is enjoying. So as soon as the father dies, the son has to share the customer. But to the son of Rishi, he's letting him, you die now. Why? It's like a curse. How can you tell someone to die now? It's like a curse. But it's a blessing. Okay? Because right now, your father is a Rishi. At least he's guiding you. You have that chance to have a sadhu close to you so he can guide you. But if you don't take time and that's the shelter, your father, your guide is no more there, what is the guarantee that you can continue? And to the son, to the devotee, he said, you may die now or may die in 100 years later, it doesn't matter. See? For devotees, because devotee use his time for Krishna, he can die or can live long. Same. For devotees, dying or living is the same. So we must reach to that level. And it is only in devotional service that we can reach that platform. Because devotional service, I repeat it, is not from this material world. This is from Goloka Vrindavan. Krishna is from Goloka Vrindavan. Mahamatra is from Goloka Vrindavan. So if you are practicing devotional service, then we are not in this material platform. Okay? Thank you very much. I will stop here. If you have any correction, any question, they are welcome.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and thank you so much, Maharaj, for the wonderful Krishna Katha about the importance of time and how complicated it is. It reminds me of one lecture Sri Gurudev gave during his last days with us here in Gita Nagari. He was talking about time and how we need to utilize time properly. So thank you for reminding us. Dear devotees, if anyone has a question, comment, realizations, please, you may indicate by using the hand emoji. You'll be asked to unmute and when we speak. Hare Krishna. Maharaj,
Yes.
if I may ask you one question, what is the cause or what is the reason that even though like you are nicely reminding us, telling us the importance of time, we may know the importance of time, that a moment wasted can never be regained. Yet we knowingly waste time. Well, even though we know that we cannot get the time we've wasted back, but we still waste it anyway. What compels us to waste such valuable time, even when we know that we need to use the time in Krishna's service? And how can we avoid repeating such mistakes time and time again? Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yes, it is because we are not reached a certain platform in our devotional service that is called Ruchi. Read the book Madhura Kadamini, the standard. Srila Vishwanath Thakur explained this. Our path from Shraddha to Prem is a journey. So as long as we are not reached that stage of Ruchi, which means we start tasting devotional service, we start tasting the joy of chanting the Maha Mantra. We start tasting the joy of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Start tasting the joy of being in the midst of devotees, the pleasure of sadhu sangha. So on that platform, then we see that our future is bright. But as long as we don't get to that platform, anything else that you do and you don't find any pleasure, the tendency is to stop that. Yes. So we left many things in our material life. We are now engaged in devotional service. So if you don't really dive deeply in devotional service, then the tendency is to still have attraction to material, material things. Then if you are attracted to material things, of course, we cannot, fully, gauge our time, gauge our time to Krishna 24 hours a day, because there are many distractions, many sources of attraction that is disturbing. But when it comes to the platform of Gucci and start developing some taste, then we can decide now to abandon certain things. It is mentioned in the 9 principles of rising to ecstatic love, Bhaktii, is to always be detached from material attraction. Without doing that, then the tendency is to try to fill the emptiness in us. We feel that there are some emptiness to fill. But by practicing devotional service in the midst of the devotee, we become fully satisfied. And we develop that joy, that happiness. And when we are happy, there's no tendency to go and get another pleasure from another source. We are getting the pleasure from the devotional service. Yeah. So there is one thing is to read something, and another thing is to apply what you read. Jnana, vijnana. We must apply. Yeah. By applying what we are reading, then you can come to that level. Otherwise, reading can be just like ordinary reading. We know that should not be done, but we cannot take the decision. One verse in Bhagavatam, I think 2:44. My memory is good. It says that those who are too much attracted to material enjoyment and sense gratification, they cannot serve the Lord with full determination. Bhaktii Variam, this is verse by Bhaktii Variam. Those who are too much attached to material sense enjoyment and sense gratification, they cannot develop strong determination to serve the Lord. They will serve the Lord, okay, but with moving on their own space and time, take their time. Yes, this is the verse. Let's read the in the mind. Go straight to the translation. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. See? The resolute determination for devotional service to the Lord does not take place. You mean we remain in devotional service, but the resolute determination will not take place. We be hanging around. We become senior canistas. We become senior devotee in our mind, but in practice we are not. We are not senior. We are not advanced, and that brings frustration. Because in the mind there is too much attachment of sense enjoyment and material opulence. Yeah. So that's the cause. Even though we know that you give our time 100%, but we don't do that because we are still surrounded by many things, family life, friends, distraction, like that. The story, the Baba gave one story of a bird. Make an analogy, a bird was caught, the baby bird was caught by a hunter. So the mother bird was trying to save the baby bird. She got caught also. Then the husband, the husband bird said, "Look, my son has been taken away. My wife was trying to save my son. She also has been taken away. So I think if I'm smart, I think let me renounce. Let me take some years and forget about this business. Because if you try, you also will be caught by the hunter." So that's why in a Srimad Bhagavatam, I think third canto, towards the end of the chapters, is explained the perenniation of the conditioned soul, that at the lifetime of those who are in material consciousness, they will suffer. When Jara, Jadi will come, then they are not prepared to leave this material body. Their whole, this gives so much energy to their wife, so much energy to their son and relatives. But at a time of old age, when it is difficult to eat, difficult to go to the toilet one by oneself, then the relatives, the son, the friend, they will not be there to support. You are old man, your sons, they will leave you, go on weekend. If you are lucky, they'll give you one piece of bread. Then you will really regret, oh, I invested all my life to these people. This is how they are paying me. Like that. So we should not wait until we get to that situation. It is now. I mentioned that the end of the years, 25 first to study under the guidance of the Guru, Acharya. The next 25 to prepare ourselves for family life. Next 25, Vanaprastha, and the next 25, prepare to meet. In the scriptures, there are many examples where the kings they don't wait until death comes. They by their own will, they put their son on the seat and they go in the forest.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Yeah, thank you so much. Like we know in the case of Maharaj Yudhishthira, he retired and put his grandson, Maharaj Parikshit. But for most of us, we don't attempt to retire until death comes to retire us. That is our unfortunate situation.
Yes.
So, any devotee with something to say, something to ask, please?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mitravina Devi, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for speaking today. My question relates to the aspects of some of the final things that you were saying, the aspects of family, children, etc. Is this to be equated? Is your final statements to be equated with those perhaps who are not on the in the practice of devotional service? Because my understanding is that taking care of family is devotional service, and when we understand that son, that daughter, that wife, those relatives, even if they aren't devotees, they were put into our lives by Krishna. And, part of our service is to care for it. Just as a child with a mother the child can do nothing by its own. It would actually like leave its body. So taking care of the child, keeping it alive, and helping it benefit and grow in every way is service to Krishna, because all living entities belong to Krishna. And that husband takes care of the wife so she can take care of the child. And isn't it supposed to just continue because that's part of the relationship? Now, I'm saying in accordance with also chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and doing the other devotional activities. A lot of times I hear this in a way that seems that, just, okay, throw them out now, throw them out, get rid of them, go to Vrindavan, you have no more responsibilities except to chant and wait for, your transcendence. How do we deal with it in a way that actually honors life and relationships in accordance with Krishna's gifts? How do we see it as that? Madhavacharya Prabhu is an amazing devotee, and he regularly talks about family is service.
Hmm.
Thank
I
you.
hope I got your point, yes. The example I gave is about the material conditioned souls. Yeah, those who are not devotees, because the verse is talking about those who are not utilizing their time to serve the Lord. So the rising of the sun and the setting of the sun is reducing the duration of the life. And I give the example of Krishna telling Arjuna that on this world as is about to start, everyone will die except you, the Pandavas. So there is nothing wrong having a family, having a husband, a wife, children, property, house, car, vehicle. No, we are talking about Yukta Vairagya, the appropriate detachment. We utilize everything for the pleasure of Krishna. That is okay. That's why I say Grihastha family, Grihastha life. We are not saying Griyamedi life. We are not saying Kami life. Grihastha means those who hold the house, householder. So we can go back to go to Goloka Vrindavan along with the whole family. That's best. So it is not wrong. It's not wrong that one should have a family. Yeah, but sometimes if you are not lucky, some father and mothers are devotees, and the child does not necessarily follow. Sometimes also you have husband devotee, the wife does not necessarily follow. Sometimes the wife follow, the husband does not necessarily follow. You see, sometimes both follow, but the kids they don't follow. Yeah, so we should really pray that yes, we have a very nice thing that the whole family they practice. The Vaishnava family they do program at home. They do some small mangalati, some classes, evening and morning. That's okay. Not a problem about that. So I'm not against family life. Devoted family life is very, very good. Because in a Grihastha ashram, they can produce. I always say that sometimes a brahmachari can become a Grihastha in due course of time to produce a brahmachari also. We never know. Grihastha, they can give birth to a devotee who can decide to become a brahmachari. So it's the same thing. So we are not against family life. I don't know if I got your question very clear.
Yes, Mama. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you taking the time to dig deeper and elaborate further on my question. Is it possible to reflect? You mentioned sometimes this, sometimes that, sometimes the parents are devotees and the children are devotees. Sometimes a husband is not yet taken to a process. And would you reflect upon the aspects of sometimes we're in different places at different times?
Mm.
And as it regards, for example, an army or one being in the military, if there's a war, there's a saying, it's no man left behind, meaning that we are already a unit. We are already following the same processes. It means if you fall on the battlefield, I'm not going to just run ahead and think about myself. I'm going to try to help you also. So would you reflect on how we can, contemplate that deeper in marriages, in communities, where support actually helps to gird up the foundation of what we're practicing? We shouldn't be judgmental. We shouldn't be condemning. But sometimes, the race to that line can cause us to step over each other, ignore each other, or not be supportive. Would you give some reflection on that, please, Manish?
I think, Sade Prabhu, do you get the question of clearly? Can I summarize?
Okay, yes, all right. What Mr. Villadev is trying to say is, if you can shed a little bit more light on the importance of devotees also acknowledging that it is like in the military, when the soldiers go to war, they look out for each other. So therefore, when someone gets hurt or injured, the other soldiers do not just abandon the wounded soldier. They try to find a way to save that wounded soldier. So in the lives of devotees, in the lives of devotees in marriage life, in community, when someone is not on a better or higher platform and is kind of dragging, what do we as devotees attempt to do to help such an individual? That's the question.
Yes. All right. Okay. Yes, it's the same thing. So sometimes we take books. We go out. We say we are going to preach. So what is our intention? It's to change people. People we don't know. We take book and go in the street. Try to change them. This is the case. We have someone. We are living in the same house. We are trying to change the life of those people outside that we don't know. We are living with our husband. We are living with our daughter or our son. But you don't think of preaching to them and change them. So we should start our homework at home. Yes, the same thing that is pushing us to go and preach. No, you can do that preaching also to ourselves and to our entourage, to our wife and yes, children. Otherwise, it will be just activity. Try to save people outside and ignoring those people living with us in the same house. It's kind of hypocrisy, like that. So yes, if we are lucky that we are moving fast, we should wait. The other ones who are working slowly, they come together. It was so wonderful that the whole family arrived at the same time to go look at Vrindavan. Because otherwise, if the husband arrived there, Krishna will ask him, okay, where is Madam? Where is your kids? Oh, they're in Maya. How come they're in Maya? What did you do? That's in Maya. They are not serious. Yes. So it is same way also. Sometimes it's the wife which is more dedicated. Yes, we should be patient. Yes, be patient to bring the wife to gradually to normal stage like that. Same thing also. It depends on how tactful we are. If you're not tactful, they say knowledge. To give knowledge, you need to do it in a tactful way. Otherwise, you can say something right, but with the wrong manner, it will not have the impact. So many of the times you see that happening in family. The husband is very strict. He wants the children and the wife to be as they are in the same moment. in 1 week. It's not possible. You take patience, tolerate, and gradually, when they see the impact of devotional service in our character, in our life, then naturally they will follow. We can't command people to follow us. They will see the transformation. They'll say, yes, this is something good. If I follow him, I'll become like him. But not always shout and be very strict. They will not follow. Yeah. Same thing also. The wife can be very good Vaishnavi. If the husband is still struggling, yes, the wife should be tolerant and keep her woman nature as humble, tolerant, and try to bring the husband to the level. Sometimes it's the kid. Nowadays it's everywhere. Children in Grace Life, some of them are very much attached to Facebook, to TV, to social media. It is very difficult to engage them in devotional service. I've seen that. When I go to India, I've seen that. Difficult. One day I asked her, I went to one Indian family to ask the boy. I think he was 10 years old. So ask him, so if you become, if you grow, what would you like to become? He told me he wants to become Michael Jackson, Indian boy. Another one also, I want to visit the family. They asked the boy to go bring me some water to drink because it's the tradition. When you visit a family, the first thing is to give you water. The boy was busy manipulating mobile phone. He refused to go bring the water. You see, it's very dangerous. We are in a era where it is very, 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 very difficult. Very difficult to have children who follow the parents. So it will take time. Yeah, take time and gradually. But we have to be patient and tolerant and hope that things will be better. But what we cannot do ourselves, we should not accept others to do also. Yeah. Even though we are trying to tell them to change, they want to see that we are saying that with love and compassion and care, then they will be touched. But if you let them feel that they are nothing, they are useless, they are not devotees, they are rashasha, they are this and that, then that cannot work. Both sides, from husband side, from the wife side also. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for the answer and the wisdom to Mitravinda Devi's all-important question. As you were answering, I remembered a pastime His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj gave about our Gurudev, His Holiness Bhaktii Swami Maharaj, that some time ago when they were distributing so many books, Gurudev was like the leader of the book distribution team. And he used to live very, very austere. So some of the devotees wanted to leave the party because they felt it's too much, He would eat once a day. He would just eat maybe 1 or 2 fingers of banana and a little bit of peanuts. They wake up by 4:30. They have all chanted their 16 rounds. They are done. They are ready to hit the street. But when Gurudev got to know that his pattern, his practice was discouraging some people, he adjusted.
Yes.
Just like Mitravinda Devi was saying, if we begin to think that we are a military and we are all in this together, Gurudev gave so many homeworks, and the title was, "We are all in it together." If we begin to think and act like that, we are all in it together, then we'll begin to help each other. Instead of thinking, okay, apart from me, nobody else. So that is the same thing you were saying, Maharaj, and thank you so much. I believe Madam Mitravinda is very much satisfied with the answer, as well as the other devotees. If anybody has something to say before we let Maharaj go, please. Anadi Nidana Prabhu, please unmute.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj, I beg my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you very much, Adi Prabhu, for giving me the opportunity. Guru Maharaj, in this presentation, you made mention that we should invest much in our spirituality, whereby if you are not able to go back home, back to Godhead, this very life, in the future, meaning we have more bank accounts. Yeah. My question is it always the case that whatever spirituality or piety that someone has accrued in his or her past life, is that always what he or she depends on in this very life, or sometimes what the person is doing currently, he can live on that also? I don't know if my question is clear. As you made mention that you see some devotees that they come to devotional service one way or the other, then they give up devotional service. But you see such devotees as a very staunch devotees. So it cannot happen that even though previously his credit has been exhausted, but the one that he has accrued in this very lifetime can be used. I don't know if my question is clear.
Yeah, I understand. Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you, Hare Krishna.
Yes, it works like banking, the banking system. If you have some deposit in your bank and you withdraw everything from your bank, you can say there is nothing in your bank. But right now, if you are currently doing some business that is bringing you some income, that can help you to survive, even though you don't have anything in your bank accounts. But currently, you are engaged in some business, some activities that is bringing income. So if our bank balance from past life is too small and we exhaust all, but right now we are engaged in a very dynamic way in devotional service that can sustain, our life, and we can continue. But if our bank balance from previous life is exhausted and we are not doing much, then of course we lose the taste of devotional service and we lose, the enthusiasm of being in the midst of in the association of devotees. We lose the taste of chanting Mahamantra. We lose the taste of following the principle. Then, because there is no more, bank balance. But right now, if you continue to practice, then we can accumulate more for this life and of course for the next life also. Yeah. Do you follow? Do you understand? Hare Krishna?
Guru Maharaj, thank you very much. But if I may use an example, one Salika Prabhu said, he said, I think it's Nigeria also, that's what he said that the incident happened, that there was this very staunch devotee who happens to be a pujari then, very staunch devotee, chanting, doing his japa, almost everything. So what might be the cause of such a devotee, such a staunch devotee, living devotional service, even though his previous credit must be exhausted, yet now he's doing very well. But at a point, he just give up devotional service just like that. Meanwhile, right now you can see that he's still depositing in his bank account. So what could be the cause of such a devotee giving devotional service, even though now he's still maintaining the bank balance? Hare Krishna.
Yes, I understand. I don't know that devotee, and I don't want to blame him. I don't want to judge him. But the cause of those things is, you can say, aparada, offense. Yes. One devotee, as you said, the devotee can be very enthusiastic, very strong, very determined to do all service enthusiastically. So one day you just realize that devotee just live. like that. So there are certain things that come into action that we don't know. So we don't judge things artificially like that. We not understand why that person is doing when he's alone. Nobody knows that person. So aparada is the main cause of those kind of things. Yeah, those if you commit, why you chant every morning our first of aparada, we should not blaspheme a devotee who are dedicated his life to, So if you keep on, accumulating those aparadas, those offenses, then you reduce. It says that offenses reduces the duration of our life, reduces our beauty, reduces our devotional service, reduces our piety. Of course, reduce our devotional bank balance, devotional credit, brother. Reduce those things. So we may not understand. Oh, this Prabhu, we used to wake up early before everyone for the last 15 years. All of a sudden, something happened. So because certain things have been done, somebody knew. Then it has been reducing, his credit slowly, and just one day. And people are surprised. Understand? So not that. Aparada reduce our beauty, reduce our determination, reduce our piety, reduce our enthusiasm, everything reduces aparada. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. And I think Anadinidana Prabhu's question is a very, very important question because none of us, I believe, actually want to lose or leave Krishna consciousness. But Maharaj, if you have a few or a couple more minutes, if you may add more light to this concern that, we understand devotional service, if we have credit and we join devotional service, all good. But devotional service, as I understand, is so pure that it does not actually depend on previous credit. We may not have any punya in our previous life, but just by accepting devotional service as given by our Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, whether we practiced it in our previous life or not, provided we stay away from aparat and practice what Srila Prabhupada has given us, we'll still make headway. But I would like you to throw a little bit more light on using the same analogy of banking system, saving money, because sometimes somebody may have big money in the bank, but the bank can still freeze the money because the bank may have some sort of suspicion that there was something wrong going on with the account. So even though you have the money, the bank will freeze your account. If you use your money in a very illegal manner, the bank can also freeze your account, which is kind of tantamount to like committing offenses. So if you may throw a little bit more light on how, if even we have so much credit, whether past or present, and we commit offenses, that can freeze our devotional life. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Yes, the offense is very, very serious business, and you said it very clearly that we may have some money in the bank, but the bank may decide not to give us because they are observing certain things. Yes, same thing also. We may be very, enthusiastic, very strong by pursuing our devotional path, but in due course of time, certain things, certain parameters that we don't take into account, that will disturb, they will become obstacles, in our devotional path. Again, if you go back to the explanation of Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur in this Madhurya Kanamini, mention the different obstacles from one level to another level. Mention, for instance, from to move to let's say another niviti, to move to the next stage, mention different, like 6 obstacles. One of them is a liar, is a lack of enthusiasm in chanting the mantra. Mention about the Utsamahi. Utsamahi means a false enthusiasm. Can be very enthusiastic in the beginning, and that enthusiasm does not last. Right? Because there are some different obstacles that we didn't remove, and they become stumbling blocks in our path. Yes, that's why it is very important to clear the way in the beginning of our devotional service. They said that the first level is Shraddha, faith. The next stage is very, very important. This is a Sangha, Sadhu Sangha. It's from there, either we progress, or we regress, or we become stagnant. Our progress depends on our association of advanced devotees. If we take good advantage, then we can progress. When we take bad advantage, then either we become stagnant or we regress. So we have to continue until we get to Bhava and Prema. But in the beginning, it is very, 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 very important. So the way we start our devotional service will tell what the future will be. Anything we start with enthusiasm, determination, there is guarantee that yes, you can end up being successful. But anything we start with doubt, lazy and like that, there's no guarantee that success will come. Yeah. So the path of devotional service, so many things can come into action. Our paradise will be there, our past life will be there, our family will be there. So many things will come. That's why Gurudev mentioned many times in the book that we need mercy of the Lord, of the Guru, but we also need to apply some efforts. Efforts, your effort alone cannot give you success if there is no mercy. But you cannot just sit down and wait for mercy because that person or that Mataji got mercy, and you'll be waiting for your mercy without any effort. Okay, so those two things, Gurudev give example. Someone will fall into a hole, and it's sending a rope. At least hold that rope and use your legs and help yourself because the mercy is there.
Yeah.
So you don't grab the mercy, then by effort, then you cannot come out from the hole. Yeah. So those things go together. We need mercy also, because from the mercy of the Guru, even aparada and all these things, they can be removed also. With the mercy, if you have blessing of your Guru, then your everything will be smooth. Yes. So those two things, mercy, that effort should be applied also. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. It's very interesting to likely end on those two notes, effort and mercy. So if we may ask devotees to kindly unmute, and we all chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our appreciation to His Holiness' presence and wisdom and guidance from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Kripa Sindhya All glories to His Holiness Bhakti Carudesna Swami Maharaj Ki.
Jai.